welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips, my co-host and producer, and we've got a little segment we've got planned here. We're going to be joined with one Kreh Scully, friend of the episode, friend of the mini episodes that he's been on, friend of the podcast.
He is
Chris, what's up?
He is our resident, what would you call him? Our resident conspiracy expert.
Yeah, of the North. Gabe Griffin covers the South, and Kreh Scully's got the Northern sector. Of course, a lot of folks will remember our infamous Jerry Sandusky episode, where we kind of debated some of the finer points of Jerry's defense or lack thereof.
We've had several of those, and they were good episodes too.
They actually were. They were not as, and a lot of folks, they came into them, I guess, listening and expecting, some kind of, because we engage in a lot of horseplay on this show.
Hey, let me say this before, as far as Michigan and Penn State go, in the last, I don't know, you could say 10, 5, 15 years, either team, it's either a blowout. I think there's been very few close games. And both teams, you could almost consider them both the same because, like I told you guys a couple weeks ago when we had the Michigan State game, my biggest rivalries as a Michigan fan are in this order. Growing up, I'm 46, were Ohio State, Notre Dame, and Penn State. Those were the three that got under our skin that either messed up our season, or made our season because we beat them and they were always ranked top 10. Or vice versa.
Dominic, really quick, I gotta remind you not to fucking cuss on my show, okay? Thank you.
Gotcha. I got a question, Chris.
No, it's seriously, everybody kick their shoes off. Let's talk next.
Yeah, okay, Chris, here's my question, because I was just told by an Auburn fan on the last segment that Penn State would not be doing a wideout this weekend. Is this true?
No, they're doing a stripe out.
Yeah, it's a stripe out because the game's at noon. Usually, whiteout games are played prime time. So it's not going to be a whiteout; it's a stripe out game.
That's what I'm saying. The whiteout thing's so successful that y'all just pretty much y'all are going to look for an excuse to do the whiteout, stripe out, something, whatever.
It's not Penn State; it's the Big Ten that sucks that won't allow us to have primetime games after October. I think it's after October 31st. We can't have primetime games because of the weather. The possibility of the weather.
So why don't all of the teams from the Big Ten move to the South down here where it's nice and sunny? Oklahoma and Texas are doing it. Y'all laugh all you want to. Oklahoma's headed this way, and it's going to be nothing but sunshine and good times.
Not for Oklahoma.
You got that right. Hello, 4 and 5 loss seasons. Yeah,
I think Texas is definitely going to enjoy the move.
I think Ole Miss could beat the shit out of Oklahoma this year. I mean, I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's funny. Oklahoma's ranked.
What happened? Everybody there? Hello.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, go ahead and finish Dominic's sentence.
I'm sorry.
Technology. We love technology on this show. Technology is contributed to so many great moments.
Oklahoma.
My family's all over here. It's my birthday today, and we're having a little birthday.
Well, happy birthday! And you said you're what? You're 46? You said 46. That's my age. Man. That's how old I am. I'm 46. Hey. Yeah.
What are you going to do?
You're at our age, you hardly meet 46-year-old guys.
That's right.
They're either 44 or 47.
46 might seem like, it's not that great of a thing, but it beats the alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, like me being 50.
No, being dead.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can die, but you don't have to wait to die. You can do it right. You can do it right now.
But yeah, man, Penn State. I mean, it's I mean,
stripe out. The big stripe out game.
Yeah, it's a whiteout, but they got a blue stripe down the 50-yard line, like their old helmet or something.
That's how.
It sounds like
it's
some
definitely
Michigan
going to be a
State
sold-out game. I mean, that's it's going to be a definitely sold out game because this game for Penn State, it's the rally cry to, get back up in the good graces of the Big Ten and maybe possibly take the Big Ten number 2 spot in the East.
I don't know, man. You need to watch out because Harbaugh's coaching like he actually really wants his job for some reason or another.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Harbaugh,
If he was coaching like he
doesn't beat Ohio State this year, he might be gone.
If he don't win the rest of his games this year, his ass should be tar feathered.
Okay,
I'll lead the charge.
But do you honestly think that's going to happen there? No.
No. And who else are you going to get? That's the way I said everybody's, Harbaugh's got to go. You know what? I don't give a shit. What are you going to do? Who are you going to get? You're going to try to get
Gus Malzahn has really turned UCF around.
Fuck Gus Malzahn. I got too many Auburn friends, y'all. I live down south. I've been in SEC smack group.
You're friends with Auburn people? You have Auburn friends? Ew.
I got more Bama friends. I got to tell you what's sad. I got more Bama and UT friends on my Facebook than any other SEC.
Dominic is a Wolverine from Texas.
No, I'm from Michigan.
What?
But
Okay, sorry, but he lives in Texas. Am I right?
That's right.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I'm so confused. So wait a minute. You spent time here. Did you spend time in Alabama?
No. I've been in these SEC smack groups for years.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, no, I'm not in them anymore. But
I got booted too. Don't feel bad.
Huge.
They boot everybody over there.
What?
They have no chill.
Doug, is that you talking, Doug?
No.
Yes.
No.
We got a bunch of we've got like 3 or 4 mutual friends that I met in SEC smack groups. Just some straight goofballs, dude, and like every one of them that we have.
Talking about me and you have mutual friends. This is
yeah, and they're all from those SEC smack groups. It's some comedy, dude, man.
Who are they? I'll let
It's probably Justin Pike. It has to be Justin Pike.
What's that?
It has to be Justin Pike.
Nope, not. I know who that is though. That guy's crazy.
He's coming on next.
Hold on a sec.
Yeah, he's coming on next.
Maybe I don't know him. He's coming on next.
Justin has his own segment. Justin does a segment every single week.
Is he still the president?
Yes, he's still my president. Fuck all y'all.
I can't remember. Michael Lowe's one of them. It's just a bunch of clowns, man. These guys are crazy. And a couple of years ago, one of the guys from a Michigan group joined the SEC smack group. And he's like, hey, man, these guys are roasting us. So, like, 150 of us joined this SEC group, and they're like,
I already know how that worked out. I already know. Was it SEC? Was it SEC Smack? Was it David Marshall's group?
David Marshall and some Patricia Strickland.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
That one, yeah. Dude,
yeah, that's not SEC. That's not SEC Smack. Okay. Oh no, precious.
It was SEC Smack Talk is what it was called. True SEC Smack.
Yeah, I don't hang out there no more. We actually tried to get Patricia on the show a long time ago, and it could never really nail anything down.
Is she comedy?
She's nuts, man. She is fucking. She's cat lady nuts, dude. You stay as far away from her as you can. Is she blonde?
Blonde.
I don't know if that was a good move for her.
I don't either, dude.
Because she's like brunette. She's like Italian chick brunette.
Yeah. She
funny story. Jesse Paul Clark got spurned by her and did everything he could to try to take that group down. Everything he could.
Wait. Did he do the video of her? Did he do the video where he put the black wig on and was like, and had like the math pipe and all that shit?
Was that no, I don't. That doesn't sound like Jesse would Dutch because Jesse's not that funny.
Okay.
He thinks he is, but he's not that funny.
And they got kicked out, and they were real pissed. They're like, "Why are you Michigan fuckers here?" And we're like, "Cause we own the SEC," and we were posting, Michigan's.
I mean, y'all really don't own the SEC. Let's go ahead and get that straight now. Whoa.
If you want to go by record, the only team to have a winning record against every SEC team is Michigan.
I've never looked that up before.
Some guy posted it and showed our record against Bama.
That was Tig. That was probably Tiggy did that. He was just trolling you. Did you actually go check? Just because you saw it in a meme, did you actually go and check
I went
the stats on this?
I went and looked, and we have a winning record against Bama.
Where's Tiggy been? I haven't seen him in a while.
All right.
He's around.
All right.
He disappeared a while ago.
Dominic,
He's around.
word of warning, you've given me an assignment for tonight, and I will be tagging you in the...
Look it up.
If you're wrong, I'll be tagging you in the meme, and if you're right, I will probably still tag you in the meme.
Tag me in it.
All righty.
If we've got a losing record against anybody, it's the fucking Mississippi team. One of them cocksuckers beat us the other year. I think it might have been the only time we played them, and it was after.
That was Ole Miss, was it not?
I think Ole Miss. Was it Ole Miss?
I believe it was.
The purple and white.
To make it interesting, I will not count series that only have one game in them.
Oh, then I'm guaranteed. I know we're up on the whole SEC like that.
No, yeah, but you can still do that though. If they're only up, like 1-0, I mean, that's still
1-0. I mean, that's
still ownership, I guess, according to Oklahoma fans.
Hey, Oklahoma man,
they'll own anything. Pretty good record against the SEC itself.
Yeah, but how moderate is that record?
Well, here's the thing too: the SEC won't dare come up north. November.
Why would be? It's so fucking cold, and you won't let us play at night. Fuck that.
Hey, I'll tell you what. Come September, October. Beautiful weather.
It is beautiful up there. I'm actually from Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. I used to. We actually lived up there before we moved down here.
Okay, guys, just so I can get some. Some Penn State, Michigan stuff on here. Let's talk about that game.
Yeah, we need to because it's a hell of a game. That's a hell of a matchup this year.
There's a lot of meaning in that game, especially for Michigan, and not taking away anything from Penn State. But I'm sure you guys saw all week how little brother was upset. Michigan, we got to win every game left.
You got to win. You got to win out to get to the college football playoff. That's definite.
But we talked earlier about Harbaugh, what the implications if he loses this game. What about James Franklin? Because I'm going to tell you what, the attitude about James Franklin, particularly on the national scene, has cooled quite a bit over the past couple of years.
You mean the want?
Yeah, the love. There ain't no love for James Franklin.
Listen, I belong to a few Penn State fan groups, and I got to admit, most of these guys don't know anything about coaching football, right? But a lot of them give a shit because they're sitting there. There's a big rumor that James Franklin's talking about going to USC.
I heard the same thing, and I think it may be true.
But here's the thing.
Well, and I think part of that is also because he's not received as much of the love that was there early on when he was able to reignite the program in the wake of the Sandusky scandal.
Turno, huh?
Oh no, not by any means. But at the same time, when he was able to at least completely, not completely, but just about almost shut down the talk about Sandusky and transfer eyes back to the field and what was going on there. Even with the losses, he was still giving it good.
Those kids,
giving Penn State alumni good football again.
Exactly.
I tell you
this James Franklin rumor came up. This ain't the second or third time it's come up since he's been at Penn State. Because I can't remember, was he an assistant at USC under somebody?
No, I don't think he was. I think he was at a few small colleges, and then he got the Vandy job. And then what he did at Vandy, he turned like.
And that turned Vandy in the best Vandy program I've ever seen in my life.
Oh man, dude, they were killing people. They beat what? They were beating Kentucky and Tennessee out of the water, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, Vanderbilt.
They even beat Alabama that one time. No, that didn't happen.
That ain't never happened in our lifetime.
No, that ain't gonna happen. Not in my lifetime.
Because I tell you what, when somebody down here sees me with a Penn State shirt on, they go, "Well, you stole our coach." They're Vandy fans. "Oh, you stole our coach. You stole our coach." I said, "Well, here's the thing. James Franklin is a Pennsylvania-born boy." And Penn State
is he?
Green. Yeah, he grew up just outside of Philadelphia.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Hey, what's going on? What are you doing?
Up? What y'all doing here?
Hey, I'll talk while Scully's gone. I think for Michigan, I think right now.
No, I'm here.
Okay. But go ahead. Continue.
No, I was just gonna say, I think Michigan, and I'm not. I'm not a homer. I used to be a homer, but now I know because I'm older, I can speak to reality and listen to listen to reason a little bit better. I think Michigan is more focused right now because that big loss to Michigan State took the wind out their sails. And I think when they saw the college playoff committee put us ahead Michigan State, I think they said, okay, we think Michigan's a better team all around. They lost. The coaching lost that game. But I think that they look at it as, if Michigan wins out, I think Michigan State's going to lose another game. Penn State's already lost, what, 2? 3? 3. So if Penn State has nothing to lose this game, that's another thing to look at. I think Michigan's going to come out. I think that they're going to play with I think Michigan's going to – I think it's going to be a lopsided win like 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. I mean, Penn State beat us real bad, and then the next year we turn around and beat them almost the same exact score, like 42-10. I mean, it's just –
I tell you the truth, I got to disagree with you. I think the game's going to be close.
Do you?
Yeah.
What's the weather supposed to be like?
They're calling for rain.
Oh, man, are you kidding me?
No. Dude, it's Pennsylvania in November.
That's true.
It's rain.
We only got one running back, man. It sounds like Corum's going to be out a little bit. He's still injured.
Dude, we ain't got no running backs.
Yeah.
The only difference I got to see, Michigan needs to stop DeHoney Dotson.
Right. They're going to have to spy on him all game. It's the only way to stop him.
Because right now, they're comparing him to the 94 receiver, Bobby Ingram.
Oh,
I'm going to tell you something.
Oh, I remember
Bobby Ingram was probably one of the best receivers I ever seen at Penn State.
Oh, for
so
sure.
That's saying something.
You can't think of anybody better. I mean, Bobby Ingram, maybe Hamler.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, oh yeah, he wasn't
used right.
One of a kind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so right now, Penn State really has a dead running game. But is Michigan going to be able to stop DeHoney Dotson? That's going to be the major issue.
Right.
Now, as far as running the ball against us, it's going to depend. It's going to depend how the defense shows up.
Right. Well, I'm not worried about our defense. They're talking about got us an Alabama defensive line this year. We got possible two top 10 picks in Hutchinson and David Ojabo. And they both will probably break the Michigan sack record this year, which is crazy. Crazy.
I saw that where they were talking about can Penn State stop Michigan's pass rush.
Right.
How's this going to go down, y'all?
I think it's going to come down to, now that I know that it's going to, if he's saying rain, and as good as our running game is, that even affirms me more. I'm going to say the game is 35-14 Michigan. And I want barbecue sauce with my crow if I'm wrong. Preferably something from Missouri.
Wow, you're going to say a blowout at Penn State?
I'm telling you, dude. Wow. I'm telling you, we're coming.
What's going to happen?
Hey, he's got one wide receiver. He just said he's got a wide receiver. We've got two running backs that can rush for 200.
Penn State is better than a 6-3 team, and you know that.
I agree that. You guys almost beat the Buckeyes. I agree wholeheartedly.
And tell you the truth, I think Michigan is finally due to beat the Buckeyes this year.
I do too.
I think
don't
they're
think we're
really
gonna lose
due.
another game.
I mean, listen. I was saying earlier, I grew up as a Penn State fan, but I was up north too.
Yeah,
Right.
he was up north.
Rooted for him. Definitely rooted for Michigan when they played Notre Dame every year.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing. It wasn't like
I got interest for Michigan.
What's going to happen, Chris?
I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be close. I'm going to say Penn State 23, Michigan 21.
All right.
And the only reason why is because Penn State got the home field advantage.
But it's not a night game, dude.
And
it's
Penn State
a morning
got something
game
to play for.
It's a morning game. To me, it's a morning game. That's the remember that game? Who was that game? What was his name? God, I remember the quarterback. We took two of them out in one game, man. There's Michigan Michigan defensive lineman, I can't remember, maybe Sean Crable standing over the quarterback and helped him up, but it made it look like he was taunting him. I think Michigan's going to come, and I hope I'm right. But I really do, man.
Well, we've beaten you the last 2 times.
Right.
So Michigan does have something to play for.
Right. I mean, you blew us out.
I'm not saying that.
Was it last year the blowout or the year before the blowout? One game was close.
That was last year. No, we beat you last year, but that was COVID year. So,
yeah. But the year before was a blowout.
I think it was the year before.
42-19 or something like that.
Because we were trading off on blowouts for a while.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it could go either way, but I think Michigan really. I think the fact that they got to see that they have life in that playoff committee. I think Michigan's going to bring the wood, man. They're going to take quarterbacks out. I think they're going to bring it, man. It's big house football coming to Happy Valley, brother.
All right,
big houses.
It's gonna be a slobber knocker of a game in the mud.
Absolutely.
Well, guys,
classic football.
We'll be playing defense, unlike the SEC.
Yeah.
Man, I appreciate you guys coming on. And
yeah, it's time to hang up now, Doug. It was great talking to all of y'all except for people talking trash about my conference. So, whatever.
Hey, Big Ten's coming, fellas.
That's right.
Coming where?
Big Ten's coming.
Big Ten's coming.
Coming where?
Appreciate it, fellas.
Coming to the TV to watch the national championship.
Smacking Off the Podcast's Battle of the Gurus.
And welcome back to Smacking Off the Podcast. I'm your host, Shannon Madden. I'm joined with Doug Phillips, my co-host and producer. And we have another installment of our weekly Guru Battle for the season of 2021. We're joined on the line with one Gabe Griffin. What's up?
What's up? Fuck you, Sean.
And our longest contributor to this podcast, Mr. Sean Devine. What's up, homie?
Hey, good evening, gentlemen. How we doing?
Living the dream.
Yeah, it's time to smack a Notre Dame fan. Let's get this going.
This is for the big enchilada.
Yep. All right.
Final Four.
We're getting there. We're not in the Final Four yet, but whoever wins this is going to be in.
No, I think Gabe was holding his nuts there and saying that he was going to be in the Final Four. So we're going to see how this pans out.
All right, Michigan at Penn State.
I'm going Michigan.
Why?
I like Penn State in that game.
It's going to be a wideout game, isn't it?
No, it was Auburn that got the whiteout.
What, do they only do one?
Yeah, they want to do 1 year. It's an annual thing, I think.
Why can't they do more than one?
Hey, look. Hey, they may do it again. But
why doesn't every home game be the whiteout game? I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just do it every time. I like Michigan though. Penn State, I think they got the injury bug, and why not go Michigan? Hopefully Harbaugh will pick his nose and flick a booger out there and mess up Sean Clifford.
Is it too soon to call Michigan, Georgia in the national championship game? This is Harbaugh and Kirby Smart's year. I mean, that right there is the true blowback from the whole pandemic, I think.
We got the Fighting Tim Baileys of Oklahoma going to Baylor.
As much as I would love to see Baylor win and just jock over Tim, Oklahoma's got this.
Yeah, too much talent on Oklahoma, even if it isn't Baylor. Baylor just lost recently, didn't they?
Yes.
Yeah, I think they're still shocked from that, and I think Oklahoma beats them pretty good.
See, right. There's no chance that Baylor comes back and pulls the upset on this.
I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
All right.
It can't be. Look, it can't be Oklahoma's year too. So it's going to have to be either Oklahoma, Michigan, or Oklahoma, Michigan, or Georgia. It can't be all three of them. It just can't. I'm sorry. It's just that's not going to happen this year.
Hell of a fight.
I'm gonna make that prediction right now.
We've got the Fighting Gabe Griffins of Auburn hosting the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
This is an interesting game.
Trap game. Auburn goes down in this one, I think.
This is an interesting game because I want to see how Bo Nix responds, because after the Penn State game, he had a horrible game against Georgia State, and then after Georgia, he actually responded really well. I want to say that we respond pretty well because we still have something to fight for. If A&M loses, then we control our destiny once again. And I want to say Auburn can do it. It's going to be close, though. It's going to be an ugly game.
Sean Devine.
Yeah, I mean, tough loss last week for Auburn out in College Station. I think Nix recovers. They're at home, and as we know, Auburn gets all the calls at home, as we saw last
You see, there we go. That bullshit.
I mean, they paid off the refs good when they're down there on the Plains, so I figure they win by 7 over Mississippi State.
We've got UGA going to Neyland Stadium to play the Tennessee Vols.
Georgia by 1,000,000.
I'm gonna watch that with the sound off, kind of like it. Like when you watch horror movies with the sound off and have some like death metal playing in the background. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna play some death metal while I watch that and watch Georgia just completely decimate.
Sean, can I put you down for UGA as well?
Yeah. The only question is if Georgia covers. I don't know if they do, but they definitely win the game.
Yeah, and that's funny because that's really the only mystery there. Will Georgia be able to actually cover?
Tennessee, like, they actually play hard. So, they play good football. It's just they can't really.
Auburn laid down the blueprint here. You have to do what Auburn did, but the receivers actually have to catch the ball.
Yeah,
Auburn had the right game plan, and the score was a lot closer than what it showed. Auburn laid the blueprint to beat them.
Yeah, you just got to catch the ball.
Yeah, and that's been our death knell the whole season. Is just can't catch.
Now this game here is going to catch people's eye because we've got Purdue going to Ohio State, and we know that there's a history there, and Purdue is they're lethal against top 5 teams.
And Ohio State's number 6, so that might actually save them this time out.
Well, that and they're on the road. Purdue is not lethal against top 5 teams on the road. That's at home. Am I right, Sean?
That's you, man.
No, they went to Kinnick now.
Only if you're referencing Ohio State. They did go on the road, albeit Iowa was totally overranked in that game. I think Iowa was they beat the number 2 out of Iowa.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But Iowa shouldn't have been ranked number 2. Everybody knew that was.
Well, Iowa,
Fugazi.
they also have white DBs, which is setting up for disaster right there in itself.
White DBs.
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I mean,
Okay.
Oh fuck!
I mean,
don't you get me zucked? Don't get me zucked. I can't handle this tonight.
All right, y'all crop that up. But I'm just saying, it's just the honesty.
Can I put
You
both?
brought that up, asshole.
Am I putting both of y'all down for Ohio State here?
Yeah. Ohio State should blow them out.
yeah, it's Ohio State's what are they at here? 20-point favorite in this game.
I don't know if they cover that. I mean, I'd say
Depends on which Purdue shows up. Is this the giant killer Purdue, or is this the Purdue that quietly slumps off into one of the very bottom tier
on
bowls
like
that
Illinois
they
or
actually get to go
something, but
bowling?
then they'll go out and beat.
If I recall, Notre Dame didn't let them score but a field goal in the second half when we beat them. So I think Ohio State can do the same to them.
All right, let's stay in the Big Ten for a second here and go with Minnesota going to Iowa.
Oof,
That's a tough game.
golly. I mean, what Iowa shows up? The one that played earlier in the year, or the one that got blown up by Wisconsin?
And again, which Minnesota shows up too.
Yeah,
because Minnesota has shown flashes of brilliance here and there, but just can't, for some reason or another, seem to get something going.
They haven't really been the same since they lost Abram earlier in the year. I'm gonna go Iowa.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Iowa at home under Kirk Ferentz. Minnesota, I think, is trying out the water boy for running back. They've lost 4 of their scholarship running backs. I like Iowa in this game.
All right, so this is the biggest game in the country. in 1993 for sure. Miami goes to FSU.
Well, that's a lot of suck right there.
Shit. I mean, I want to go to Florida State because they've been playing better, but then they got their ass slapped around by NC State. Then I want to go Miami, but they also beat Georgia Tech by, 1 last week?
I don't believe they can both lose, Gabe.
I think the NCAA should allow a tie for this one. I know that we've gone away with ties for college football, but this feels like a tie right here. Just go ahead and end it after 4 quarters, and whatever happens, and everybody goes out the Outback afterwards and has a blue nugget.
Well, if it helps, I think Miami probably figures out a way to win even on the road.
I'm gonna go Florida State. Fuck it.
All right.
I'll take Miami in this game. I like Miami.
All right, there's your tiebreaker.
With some.
I think they've gone opposite 2 times.
If Penn State beats Michigan and Florida State beats Miami, then it's a tie again.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they went opposite 2 times before this, that'd make this one the tiebreaker, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I was keeping up. I'll be down.
A&M goes to the Grove to play Ole Miss.
I don't know what Ole Miss's injury report's looking like, but I don't know if Kiffin does, I don't know if he really tries the off-season workout regimen because they have got the energy bug like no other. But I'm going to go A&M, though. Too much defense. That defensive front was insane.
Yeah, I like A&M as well. The A&M D-line is great. And Ole Miss has been terrible against the run, and I think they get a steady diet of Spiller.
Oh, yeah. Once the diet hits the second half, Spiller just goes off.
Notre Dame goes to Virginia.
Notre Dame.
Yeah, I like the Irish in this one. I think Virginia isn't as good as their record says they are.
Hold on 1 second, guys. My pencil broke. All right.
Pencil?
Yeah. This may be the biggest ACC game of the year. Possibly.
Wake Forest and NC State.
NC State goes to Wake Forest.
This is another tough one right here.
I tried to put a segment together for this one. I just couldn't. I did find an NC State guy, and he was kind of iffy about whether he could do it. But finding a Demon Deacon.
Yeah, it's like, they got 10 fans.
Do they?
Probably.
Not in the smack groups.
Oh, no.
I may not have the internet there.
Maybe.
Can Wake Forest find a single stop on defense? I mean, that has been their question all season. But they have a really good quarterback, and I don't see why he's not up for the Heisman. He's putting up some unbelievable numbers. But I'm going to go Wake.
All right.
I think sort of North Carolina last week kind of showed the blueprint of how to beat Wake Forest. I think I like North Carolina State in this game, particularly if we see the North Carolina State team that played in that loss to Mississippi State. Everybody kind of wrote them off, but quietly they've worked their way up to 7-2.
Yeah,
after they beat game for NC
Clemson,
State.
they just turned around.
Yeah, so I like NC State to win this game, even though it's at Wake Forest.
Yeah, NC State has a better defense, but I like Wake's offense more than I like NC State's defense.
Well, guys, it looks like y'all went separate ways on 3 games, so we do not need a tiebreaker.
All right, Sean. Hopefully, I'll whoop your ass. Show you who's boss. Show you that that inbreds can pick games right. Good luck,
fellas. Good luck to you both. Right. And Gabe, as always, fuck Auburn.
Here's 6 things that you can do to help support this podcast. Like, share, and comment on our videos. Buy our merchandise. Use our affiliate web links to buy great products and services from our affiliates. And tell others about our podcast.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girando, delle belle turbando al riposo. Narcisetto Atogino d'amor, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto Atogino d'amor.
Welcome college football fans to another weekly installment of
Congratulations, you lost.
And your team is accidentally. Please welcome our resident psychology ST Timothy Bailey.
We're rowing the boat to start things off with PJ Fleck. Minnesota got ranked, and a lot of people thought it was questionable because they had that loss to Bowling Green, but they were still 6-2, and to be a 6-2 football team in a Power 5 conference, it is absolutely respectable. And so, in a lot of ways, even though maybe the ranking felt a little bit, I don't know, should we say artificial, they still were a ranked team. And to get yourself in a position where you are in the driver's seat in your division, and then to fall short against a team like Illinois and at home no less, is a pretty inexplicable, pretty undeniably a bad loss, to say the least.
I got a question. What is Illinois' record? Do you know?
They're 4-6, so they are improved compared to other years.
Yeah, because I know they've got a win over Nebraska and a win over Penn State. So they're one of those. They're becoming like a Purdue. Well, they're not knocking off top 5 teams, but they definitely can beat you on a given week if you fuck around.
The next one I'm going to go to is Dave Aranda. Dave Aranda, same kind of position as PJ Fleck, except you still have a college football playoff berth to play for if you're Baylor. Because Baylor, if they beat Oklahoma and they beat, they win a rematch against Oklahoma State and, they beat Oklahoma depending on the scenario. They're going to college football playoff, man. And, it's you play a rival, and we all know rivalry games can be tough. And I know a lot of people don't know this, but TCU and Baylor is a pretty intense rivalry. Probably going to be the most intense when Oklahoma and Texas leave. They have a pretty intense rivalry, though.
I definitely. It was at its peak in 2014. I do remember that.
Absolutely, one of the best college football regular season games of all time. And they've had some classics since then. I don't know if you remember the monsoon game the following year in 2015. That was a pretty awesome and crazy game. It's been a good rivalry game. Those two teams they don't like each other. They do play very tough. TCU did kind of throw a curveball at them by not, starting. I don't know if Max Duggan was out for injury. I know he's been hurt, or I don't know if they just chose not to play him. The new staff just thought the other guy's better, but they threw an Oklahoma transfer, Chandler Morris, and obviously Chandler Morris had 461 passing yards and another 70 yards rushing. And just tore them to shreds. And this has been a good Baylor defense all year long. So, TCU is more talented. That's the thing that's been so weird the last couple of years with TCU is, they're putting defensive players in the NFL draft, and they've got some talent on the offensive side, and it just, for some reason, they just weren't winning.
Right.
And so sometimes when that happens is when the coaches leave and, get a little new blood in there. And, TCU was playing very quality football in this game. I think it's more of a compliment to the way TCU played than the way Baylor played. But at the same time, though, this is a game you just can't lose if you're Baylor. And you have an opportunity to win there at the end, and you throw an interception to end the game. This has to be a win for you. You have to get that field goal. You have to win this football game. You have to make it, to 9-1 for next week's game against Oklahoma. So my number 3 this week is Brian Harsin, Auburn. Was that not a pitiful performance for a team that was playing very well?
I have not. I've seen a little bit of the footage of the game. I did look at the stats a little bit. I'm trying to remember. Did they shut Auburn's run game down? That I don't know.
Auburn ran for 2.5 yards a carry on 29 attempts, so they only had 73 rushing yards.
Okay, not.
Whereas on the flip side, A&M was able to run for 217 yards on 35 carries.
Probably where your game was lost for Auburn. Bo Nix is not great on the road. He's been a little better this year on the road, but when he has great games, it's typically at home.
Yeah, Bo Nix had a really rough series at one point. It was 3-6 Texas A&M at the time, or no, it was 3. It might have been 3-3. What was the score then? Maybe it was 3-9. May have been 3-9.
I mean, this was a very competitive game until the fourth quarter, right?
It was. The game was 3-9 Texas A&M at the time, and they had some really good plays drawn up. They had one where they had a flea flicker and it was open. It was going to go for a lot of yards, but Bo Nix just dropped the football. Then they managed to get on it and whatever. Then the next play they had the perfect play dialed up. I mean, this was going to go for 20, maybe 30 yards. What they had on was Bo Nix goes all the way to the left side of the formation and then throws all the way back right, and then that guy just has hella blockers and very few defenders, and he goes 20, 30, 40 yards downfield pretty easily untouched. And, it was, to say the least, it was an opportunity there for Auburn, and then Bo Nix, without even being contacted, drops the football, loses the ball, A&M picks it up, they run it into the house for a touchdown. Penn State is favored at home against Michigan. It's a noon kick game, unfortunately. It's probably because, and it's on ABC, so I don't know why it's a noon kick game. Michigan's certainly fortunate this isn't a night game, because certainly Michigan can't afford to go play in the whiteout right now. They need every win that they can get. I don't know that they get the win this weekend, though, against Penn State, so that's something to look at.
Penn State's definitely capable of going up there and fucking around and giving Harbaugh the win, but they're good. I mean, Penn State, they're good enough to beat probably, I would guess, half of the top 10 teams I believe Penn State could beat on a given day.
Yeah.
They're that team. They're that team that they can beat a top 10 team and they can go to Illinois and lose. So it's really difficult to get your finger on the pulse of what's going to happen in these Penn State games.
So Oklahoma's only favored by 5.5 down in Waco against Baylor early opening. I think. I mean, if you got any extra money this week, I would put that towards that 5.5 for OU. But Baylor certainly took away a lot of the glitz and glamour of this week's matchup. Mississippi State at Auburn could be interesting. Does Auburn have a letdown, or do they go ahead and do they clap back against a mediocre Mississippi State team? I think they probably find a way. Tennessee at Georgia is interesting for this one reason. Georgia's weakness is their secondary, and their defensive line the last 2 weeks have not been dominant. They've only had 10 tackles for loss combined in the last 2 games. That's 5 each game, by the way. They played against Missouri and Florida. Those teams aren't very good. Florida does have a good offensive line.
It's also a rivalry game.
This is a rivalry game. It's in Rocky Top. UGA is favored by 20.5. I don't think that'll happen. But the thing is, for me, Tennessee, again, you lose 30 scholarship players in the offseason. You're probably not going to beat a team. But Hendon Hooker, 21 touchdowns to only 2 interceptions. They have the vertical passing game. Josh Heupel's offenses when he was at Missouri always gave, Kirby Smart headaches. So I am curious to see, how much Georgia's defense gets exposed in this game from a defensive back standpoint. I mean, I don't see them losing, but I mean, it wouldn't completely shock me if they lost.
I mean, I've seen bigger upsets. Every season I've watched college football, I've seen bigger upsets than what Tennessee over Georgia would be.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But if you talk to a Georgia fan, and they'll act like it's just no fucking way in hell that it can happen. Man, nothing surprises me really, especially Power 5 versus Power 5.
And especially this season, right? But for Georgia, if they're at all overlooking Tennessee for call it whatever the hell this next opponent is, Charleston Southern Buccaneers, if they're overlooking Tennessee for the Charleston Southern Buccaneers next week, man, they might lose this game. Now, I joke, but I'm just saying this is an interesting matchup because it seems like on paper, just the thing that Tennessee does well is probably Georgia's biggest weak point of their strength on defense. Purdue goes to Columbus. I don't see Purdue pulling that out in Columbus, and Ohio State is favored by 20.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Shannon last night. Purdue, lethal at home against top 5 teams. On the road, probably won't even be competitive.
Can Minnesota row the boat back and take out Iowa? That's another good question next week. That they play that game up in Iowa City.
look forward to seeing who your list is next week, and I'll talk to you then.
They've won
Absolutely.
the biggest championship, and that's a championship of life.
The Life Championship Top 10 is brought to you by
Bad month tires. Guaranteed for the first 48 hours, but then you're on your own. Also by Doyle Hargrave Construction. He ain't fucking around, he gets shit done. Quality craftsmanship at an affordable price.
Here's your Life 10 for this week.
Number 10, the Florida Gators. Number 9, the Penn State Nittany Lions. Number 8, the Auburn Tigers. Number 7, the Baylor Bears. Number 6, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Number 5, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Number 4, the Michigan Wolverines. Number 3, the Clemson Tigers. Number 2, the Kentucky Wildcats. And the number 1 team for this week, the Michigan State Spartans.
Here's your 2021 Life Championship voters. Hunter Shainko, Jamie Gibson, Jay Fields, Large Marge Mahoney, Kyle Golly, Jerry Looney, Justin Brindley, Alex Bryan, and Dr. Walls, Robert Arthur. Let's thank them all for taking time out of their busy schedules to give us their opinions. Please direct all anger at them. Buy the Life Championship t-shirt today for the low price of $23.49. You will never find a shirt like this again in your entire life. So don't be a tightwad. Cheap motherfucker. Buy this shirt today. Get that shirt and many others at the Smacking Off Spread Shop. Please remember smackingOff.myspreadshop.com for all of your Smacking Off apparel. Buy the Life Championship t-shirt today for the low price of $23.49. You will never find a shirt like this again in your entire life. So don't be a tightwad. Cheap motherfucker. Buy this shirt today. Get that shirt and many others at the Smacking Off Spread Shop. Please remember smackingOff.myspreadshop.com for all of your Smacking Off apparel.
Did you see what I put in College Football Frenzy?
No.
If Georgia beats Tennessee, I'll drink my own piss.
Yeah.
Tennessee's gonna win.
Hey, did you get booted from the group?
No, I'm in there.
Okay, because I seen that you joined today.
I joined? No.
It popped up in my news feed that Justin Pike.
I might have added somebody. I might have requested somebody or added somebody in there.
Okay, cool.
Well, no. But no, remember how I was down that $1,000?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got 800 of it back.
Oh, sweet! Did you rob somebody?
No. College basketball started on Tuesday night. I took out.
Oh, okay, yeah. You're in high cotton now.
Oh yeah, it's college basketball.
Yeah, are we allowed to say that anymore? Is that still an acceptable phrase?
High cotton, yeah, of course it is.
High cotton, okay. Well, everything's getting canceled left and right. And I just want to make sure. I'm not trying to piss anybody off.
What do y'all think about the whole Aaron Rodgers debacle?
Aaron Rodgers is definitely a debacle. No two ways around about it.
He lied about it. That's
Well, I
my
mean-
whole problem with it is
I
lying.
mean, but who was he lying to, though?
The whole national media when they asked him if the whole world whenever they asked him if he.
Well, I mean, but you're not really under any obligation to tell the media the truth.
You're not, but I mean, you're Aaron Rodgers.
I
You're
mean,
the face of the
the
NFL.
people,
You make billions.
the people. Well, that don't matter these days anymore. We live. Well, we live in a post
Not a
satire.
regular person.
You've been rather excited about it. Are you still pretty high on Biden? Is he still alive? Is he still president? Is he still alive?
It's better than Trump. I will say that.
In what ways, other than the which I know that Trump said some very unpopular things to some folks.
I think we're more
in the
ethical as a
media.
country.
Yeah.
We're not looked at as a joke anymore.
Well, now I mean, I think North Korea still kind of is upset with us. A little bit.
Well, y'all saw what I did in College Football Frenzy about drinking my piss.
Yes.
If Georgia wins, go on there, just make 2 or 3 posts, and just get the whole thing just going crazy.
Well,
pretty much, yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and blow this thing up, and you need to do. If you have to end up doing this, you need to do it on the cast, and we will go live video.
Yeah,
and you need to go ahead and show the OnlyFans, so at least there'll be like 4 or 5 subscribers there seeing you drink the pee.
Well, see, this is not going to happen because Tennessee is going to be Georgia. It's going to be an upset. I really do. I can feel it, and it happens in college football a lot. I can really see Tennessee.
You talk to
at home.
Georgia people, and they'll act like this is impossible. There's no way it could happen. I see
It really is
I see an
possible.
upset at least one time a year bigger than this.
Yeah, okay. I will tell you this. Maybe you think I'm off the rails with this one. They will cover that 21-point spread. They won't get beat by more than 3 touchdowns. That's my lock of the week.
And that's your Justin Pike lock of the week.
Do y'all think they lose the game by more than 3 touchdowns?
No.
No, I really don't. Tennessee's trending upwards, but I will say this though. They're not going to score many points at all. Man, this Georgia defense Georgia defense is ridiculously good. So talented.
They're fun to watch. Do you think Alabama? Okay, let's say they play Alabama in the SEC championship game. Do you think Alabama even?
If Alabama's able to make it, Alabama's got 2 very tough games ahead of them. Of course, one of them's not this weekend, but we got Arkansas and Auburn coming up, and neither one of those are gimmicks.
Tennessee's going to play Georgia better than Arkansas will play Alabama or Auburn. I think so. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be. Who does Alabama play this week?
New Mexico State.
New Mexico State. Yeah.
Oh God! See, that's why it makes me sick because Alabama has 2 or 3 games like that a year.
Well, but at the same time, we're also benefiting New Mexico State's program. I'm sure they're getting how many millions of dollars for this game to go toward their program? Come on, man.
You're Alabama. You can go get billions of dollars through. Go play a real team. I don't like how Alabama does.
Well, I mean, we're just spreading the love a little bit. And again, this was a game that was scheduled how many years ago now? It was probably Kirby Smart's idea. So
should have never been scheduled. Should have never been scheduled. That's ridiculous.
I think it was Kirby who actually scheduled them.
Yeah. So I mean, we can just blame this on Kirby Smart and him trying to decimate the Alabama program. So we're going to work on that in the SEC championship.
Every year, Saban goes ahead.
If Alabama can get there.
Every year, Saban goes ahead and he lets one assistant pick a game that's 10 years in the future.
Does he really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No.
Come on, man, just go with me here.
Oh. Yeah, I guess. I was getting ready to say that's the craziest shit because most of his assistants are gone in a few years.
I don't know. The craziest shit I've ever seen was Alabama only getting 6 rushing yards against that scrub-ass LSU defense.
I didn't watch the game.
Yeah, there wasn't really much of a game to watch. Not for real.
I think it was 6.5 yards.
Unless you're a Bryce Young fan, he still threw for 300. So he did his job.
When's the last time you would see an Alabama team rush under 50 yards in a game? That's crazy.
I mean, especially against that particular LSU team. I mean, come on now.
Speaking of
with their interim head coach that used to be their real head coach. Now he's back to being an interim head coach again. Yay for him.
Watching the Baltimore Ravens, Miami Dolphins Thursday night NFL game. I know y'all don't watch NFL. Jacoby Brissett started tonight because Tua's been hurt. And they actually dressed Tua because they said, if it was emergency, he could play. Jacoby Brissett got hurt. Tua just checked into the game. Just went to a commercial.
I see him.
So,
I just pulled it up.
Tua's coming out for the Dolphins. They're up 6-3 on Baltimore right now. If the Dolphins end up winning this game, that 200, I lost it. I'll be taking a bath tonight. So,
did you put anything on that Pitt North Carolina game?
I did. So I got North Carolina plus 7.5.
North Carolina's still down by 10. They've scored. They scored a little bit in the third quarter. The end of the beginning of the fourth quarter is coming up. So there's still a little bit of game left.
Well, they're in Pittsburgh. It's 1st and 10. They're in Pittsburgh territory. So I'm trying to be optimistic.
Any other locks?
Kansas City Chiefs Sunday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs minus 2.5 in Las Vegas. Las Vegas is a hot mess right now.
Oh, absolutely. Particularly if you're betting college football this year.
And Cam Newton, and then Cam Newton is back for the Panthers. Did y'all see that?
Oh wow! No, I haven't. That's the first I've heard of this.
They signed him today, Cam Newton, to a 1-year deal.
Get out of town.
Because Sam McDonald got hurt.
Oh, Cammy Cakes.
Yeah, Cam Newton's back in the NFL.
Yep.
And Colin Kaepernick is still not.
It popped up on the ESPN little ticker right as you said it.
What?
Panthers signed quarterback Cam Newton.
What did they sign him for? How did they pay him a bag of money at the airport?
That's the way.
Actually gave him $10 million.
Paper bag.
Actually gave him his contract's worth up to $10 million. And you're basically only paying half a season.
Fuck.
Yeah, must be
That's
nice.
play money for Cam.
Must be nice. I looked at his net worth not long ago. He's worth like $80 million. He's worth a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's wild.
I wonder how much he get. How much of that he gives back to Auburn University. He has a lot of nostalgia, a lot of fondness for that school and his year that he was there.
I mean, SEC schools are rich. I mean, you got to give back to them.
Well, I mean, but we're the poorest state in the union. We're all barefoot around here. We have no cable television or TV.
Yeah, I mean, I've been down there. It's pretty rough.
Yeah, you were in Hoover. Hoover is a rough neighborhood.
Well, people were telling me Mississippi's even worse.
Which one?
I heard Mississippi's even worse.
Which part of Mississippi?
Just Mississippi in general, I guess.
Well, it is in general, but yeah, I mean, there's also, just like everywhere else, there's better and worse parts of it. I can tell you right now, one of my favorite places in Mississippi, still to this day, will be Columbus. We have had, Doug and myself had so many wonderful times in Columbus with some friends of ours that owned a venue there that I believe has now been torn down. I think the Princess Theater's no more.
So where's Columbus, like on the map? Is it on the coast or is it in the
It's right on. It's actually, probably 45 minutes from Tuscaloosa?
Yep.
If you keep going toward Mississippi.
Yeah, it's not far.
Is that
easy drive right over the state line? Is it the Air Force has an installation there?
Yeah, it's somewhere between Tuscaloosa and Starkville.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Cool little spot, though. Nice little town. It's actually home for the Mississippi College for Women. One of the reasons I liked it.
All right. Well, do y'all want me to go to bed so y'all can leave?
Absolutely.
Good night.
Oh, God. Pray that Baltimore wins, guys. Pray.
I know. You need that money. Hashtag Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Hold up now. Real quick. Who am I praying to? Because you're an atheist. Am I praying to Joe Pesci?
Pray to.
You're praying to Joe Biden.
Be spiritual about it.
Be spiritual about it?
Yeah.
I'm going to pray to the great spirit in the sky.
Thank y'all.
Later.
See y'all.